There are two reasons why it's difficult, and it's also why it's critical. It depends on the resources you have. As an independent journalist, I don't have money behind me, so it takes time and effort to find documents, to find key witnesses that can tell the story. When you're an investigative journalist, you don't have lawyers generally behind you. If somebody wants to sue you, you may be in trouble. Although the stories I've done on Magnitsky, on Browder, have been vetted by the retired partner of a very major Washington law firm. But normally it takes a lot of time to get documents and a lot of time to find the people to interview and to get them to be willing to talk to you. If you're from a major publication or from a network, it's a lot easier. The other point is, as an independent person, very often when you're dealing with subjects like the Browder story, the major media and even some of the alternative media, they don't want to publish it. This story we have found is very political. In the US, it's part of what we called neo-McCarthyism, Cold War 2.0. That is, if you write something where the person you're writing about is a critic of the Putin government in Russia, you are immediately suspect and people are ready to attack you. And also, if you're critical of something which the government, in this case the American government, is using, or parts of it, to promote Cold War 2.0, that is hostility to Russia, they also don't want the story. And my experience has been that even when you have the evidence that media are not interested. There was one case, the Washington Post, somebody who was in charge of their facts, that is, not a low-level fact checker, this is a major reporter, knew that the story was a fake, the Browder story that he gives out, that's printed in American media is a fake. And so I asked him to send to his people a story which I have done, which is about how NBC, major network, killed a story by their own reporter that showed that Browder was a fraud. And he sent this to editors at the Washington Post, and they wouldn't take it. This is the person who is their major fact checker. That is, the person who wants to make sure that when they're on a big story, they're honest about it. He told me that I have been trying to get them to write the truth on this, and they won't. So that's the other problem if you're an independent journalist. Who is going to run your story? They have their idea, and I think a lot of them are influenced by their own political ideology, which in this case is, we don't like Russia, or we don't like the Putin government in Russia. So if you're writing about this kind of story, and it's an important story, that's a problem for an independent investigative journalist.